Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode of Greedy Keeps. This week we have a wonderful guest, Ano. Hello, Ano.
Hi.
Ano, do you
Hi.
do you want to tell people what decks you might be known for?
Uh, uh, I don't want to say Uro because that's a dead meme, but I play a lot of decks currently.
You're
Mostly this one right now, which is
you're
cool.
you're a moderator on the Ukima Discord,
Yeah,
right?
the Ukima server. Uh-huh. And then
Yes.
also this one, Omnath.
Yep. And are there any other decks? What decks do you have on the DDB?
Take the alt list for Pet Cemetery. I don't play Earthcraft is the big thing. I don't like that combo. And then one of the alt lists for Tim the Thrasios midrange,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one for Team Food Chain, like the alternative list for Luna, which is like really different from the other one currently.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I guess we're just going to hop into Omnath. So if you just clicked on the video randomly and didn't see the title of the video or the thumbnail, we're doing a Greedy Keeps for the new Omnath. So I guess we should probably describe the card first. So do you want to tell everyone what Omnath
So
does?
Omnath is a 4/4 for Sans Black, and he does a lot of things. When he enters the battlefield, he draws a card. So he's an outlet for a lot of infinite mana slash like a lot of infinite ETB, infinite mana, infinite cast combos. And then he also has this pretty cool landfall trigger that you can passively take advantage of. So whenever the first time a land would enter the battlefield under your control, you gain 4 life. And then if it's the second time, you add Sans Black. And if it's the third time, he he hits every planeswalker and opponent for 4.
Which is actually like a lot.
Did someone say pressuring Turbonas? I
Yeah.
think someone did say pressuring Turbonas.
Yeah, if you can do that a couple times in a game, like that's pretty significant. Even
I'm
like
going to
three
be for
times.
real. I've never hit Omnath's third landfall trigger more than twice in a single game. I
I
just don't see myself cracking play land plus crack land with Omnath plus crack fetch with Omnath in play is not a common play pattern, but it definitely exists, and that's like the big draw to this commander. Is the shell is very good, and there's also just cool niche stuff you can do with the commander. That's
yeah.
like super fun.
4 damage is a lot. Like two
Yeah,
two
it
times is
kills like
still that's significant.
it kills Narsets if they downtick ones, which is really nice.
That's really cool. I like
Same,
that.
yeah, same thing with like Dimir Ashiok
So it's
and
it's almost like
less
an
cool,
outlet
but
that gets rid of its own stacks pieces, right? Like
I mean,
it's a very
this
niche.
list currently doesn't play any ways to generate infinite landfall because those combos are extreme. Like the most concise one is just to play a meal and have Dryad Arbor with infinite mana, but that requires you to play Dryad Arbor. And if Dryad Arbor is the best combo piece for infinite landfalls, it doesn't seem like an angle you'd want to take.
Yeah.
Like there's a Shia Aquarian Ranger stuff, and then there's Ghostly Flicker stuff people are doing on the server. And I cut most of like those things. I don't like those combos in this deck. They feel really clunky.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, 4 color good stuff is still just pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
makes
and
sense to
then
go.
you leverage the advantages of the color pair more than you do the super unique Timmy things Omnath can do. Cause his triggers, besides the second land, which is like stupidly powerful in some spots, his other triggers are very niche. And when they come up, you notice it, but they don't come up a ton, and you shouldn't build towards them.
Yeah,
Is how I say it.
I do think the 4 mana is like pretty great. Like
Yeah, you can like cast X cost tutors for like 6 off of it, which is pretty sweet.
yeah, I was thinking finale like it makes
Yeah,
finale
dude.
really strong.
You can.
Maybe it
I
already
have
is,
one
but
because I have like 6 dorks in play. It's like turn 10. I have Omnath. I just crack with fetch lands and kill people with finale.
you've done that?
It's yes, I
That's
have one
sick.
with natural finale. I've also done that when I played like stock medium green. I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
one
yeah.
with natural finale, but I haven't
Yeah, I've
on
done
my
that.
list ever.
So, all right, let's
It's
get
just a lot of like procrastinating to be.
all right. So time for our first greedy keep. Today we have Phantasmal Image, Birds of Paradise, Avacyn's Pilgrim, Turner Citadel, Mental Misstep, Arid Mesa, Tundra. What do you think of this
So
one?
this hand has some good things and some bad. It is a dork on 1, which is like very key. And we've got a piece of interaction in Misstep, as well as a potential dockside doubler or value engine in Fimage. But we don't actually get, like, this hand plays magic, certainly, but the issue is it just goes dork pass, most likely. Or maybe you Fimage a Thrasios, or you
Or a Crom
get
or a
lucky.
Tymna.
Yeah, or I don't know, like, I think that Fimage copying commanders, generally decks that have their own commander all the time are better at leveraging them than an opponent's deck that just has Phantasmal Image or Gilded Drake.
Sure,
So
but like,
I'd be inclined to keep this if I know that something juicy is going to come down the copy.
yeah.
But if it's a pot of decks that, like, are less reliant on their commander, or want to do something, like, really broken really fast, and we want to be able to either race or fight really well, this
Yeah,
hand
this
sort of
doesn't.
just tries to go, like, the fair blue-green plan. And that's definitely good, but I'm not sure how good it is all the time.
When your commanders aren't value engines, it's a lot worse.
Yeah, that's like the big draw away from this deck into towards Thrasburst.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Thrasios is stupid. He's dumb.
All right, so next one up. This is our second 7. Force of Will, Neoform, Tropical Island, Phantasmal Image, Noxious Survival, Brainstorm, Arid Mesa.
So,
This is
this
pretty
would be
awkward.
crazy if we had a dork. But since we don't have a dork, it's very, very weird. So Fimage is, again, he's not a creature on his own. So we're probably going to get a turn 2 dork. We're going to get a turn 2 birds. And then we're turn 3 neoforming for a 3-drop. Because, hold on.
Wait, no, it's whatever
yeah.
you copy. So
Oh yeah. So we're neoforming for dockside turn 3 probably.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
I think if you had a dork, this hand would be a little bit crazier because you could like theoretically go like turn 1 dork, turn 2 neoform, noxious back the neoform, you know, and then copy the dockside or copy some 3-drop on the battlefield and then go infinite with protection and force of will.
Yeah.
I think because you lack that dork, it's like pretty awkward.
It's very clunky. Where like, if I had a dork or or like another tutor, or if I had even like a mana vault or a mana crypt, I'd want this a lot more because I'd be able to get ahead. But with this, we're relying on Fimage getting a good target on 2, and then we're relying on, like, we don't even have a combo kill from there. We're just gonna get dockside and just make mana and hope we win with that mana.
Yeah, and your
Like
commanders don't
Brainstorm. Brainstorm is really good in this hand because like you can do a lot of dumb stuff with Brainstorm. It helps fix draws, but I don't like keeping draws that want to get fixed by a Brainstorm. I think that's pretty greedy.
Yeah, I don't like this hand really. It's close.
So this is a second 7, right? Yeah. I'd mull this on a second 7. Not really that good.
All right. Drannith Magistrate, Fluster Storm, Command Tower, Unsubstantiate, Chain of Vapor, Volcanic Island, Intuition.
This hand is it first off shows how stupid Magistrate is, but also how clunky bad dockside doublers are. Because unsub is like pretty bad in this hand. If we're trying to be grindy here. We're trying to go like hold up Fluster or Chain of Vapor turn 1, and then turn 2 slam Magistrate.
Yeah.
And hope that Magistrate we can leverage that power. And then eventually we'll be drawing lands and dorks and mana, and eventually we'll get to that Intuition for Breach plus Severek plus LED.
Yeah.
And
I was about to ask, is Intuition is Intuition a 1-card combo?
Oh, absolutely. Intuition has like multiple cut. So Reclamation turns basically any 2-card permanent-based combo into a 1-card win con with Intuition. We can get Dockside plus Cloudstone. We can get Breach plus LED is the main one. You can just get 3 counter spells if you really need that. We don't though.
Yeah.
So yeah, on 6 I'd keep this, and I'd probably ship the unsub. Or because chain's just so much more efficient, and chaining something on 1 can be pretty backbreaking. If someone like Lotus Petals out a Sylvan Library, and you chain it off like the hope that they kept the draw reliant on it, that can screw with their tempo.
Yeah, I just don't like making plays like that. That's like not
it's
Magic I like playing in cEDH.
Yeah, I think that punishing greedy plays is very powerful in a deck like this. And it changes really good interaction, even if the worry with Chain is people are just gonna bounce your Drannith.
Yeah.
So Yeah,
I
I
do like
keep
that.
this in bottom one of the bounce spells.
Yeah,
It depends on how relevant Drannith is versus how relevant being 1 mana is in
yeah.
your pod.
I also think if there's a Golo set in my pod, I'm really likely to keep Unsubstantiate because it's like one of the only counter spells that can counter like an uncounterable PETA or uncounterable ad nauseum.
Nas or intuition even. Yeah, but
Yeah,
moreover, like unsub is, if you think about it, it's pretty close to counterspell in some metas. Where people are
yeah,
trying to go, oh fast mana, I win.
yeah,
Just bouncing their shit and leaving them with like floating dark ritual mana and tapped grim monoliths is a great way to put them back a lot.
yeah. I also think that it's like if you're I'm just making arguments for unsubstantiated here, but if you're going with intuition lines, you could I think it's like pretty possible that like Savine's out like a dockside and you make some treasures and you just need to like unsub your dockside, replay your dockside, and then you'll have like
That's
that'll push you over the
true for
line.
chain as well.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. It chain's probably better in that
It's
situation. Yeah,
yeah, it's interesting. I definitely keep this though, and like
bottom of bounce
probably
spell.
probably bottom chain because we're very reliant on our magistrate being like a big lock piece, and
Mm-hmm.
we're just gonna not be able to use chain at all because we know that magistrate's gonna get sniped immediately if we cast it.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to a fresh seven. Sabine's
Let us go
Reclamation,
to first 7.
Bloodstained Mire, Worldly Tutor, Flooded Strand, Finale Devastation, Lines that Ivan, Dispel.
Well, this is interesting. This is very interesting. This, in theory, presents a unprotected turn 2 combo if Dockside makes a lot of mana, and I mean a lot of mana. I mean 6. So if Dockside makes 6 on turn 2, spoiler alert, it most likely won't. You can just Worldly Tutor on your end step for it. Dockside Finale for Emil, Crack LED to activate Emil, go infinite.
That's sick.
And yeah, this deck is really good at just killing people
And then
if
you have
they're greedy
Sabine's
with their artifacts.
Reclamation in case.
Yeah, and you have Savines to get back Dockside if it gets countered.
Yeah,
And you have Dispel. This hand is really good.
yeah,
I like Savines as a value piece a lot. Like, if the game gets long, we can just Finale for Drannith Magistrate and just have a Drannith with Dispel and Savines to get it back.
mm-hmm.
And that can just completely lock decks out of playing the card game.
Yeah.
You can
That's
also get, like, we play Keenan, if you want to get Keenan. There's also a pretty, like, a Mimi line with one of the new cards in the list. There's no way this is optimal, but you could, in theory, like, Worldly Tutor for Dualcaster, and then Finale for Spellseeker for, Twin Flame. And that's, like, really bad,
Yeah, I
but
don't
it's
know how I
something
feel
you
about
can
that.
do. Yeah, you shouldn't do that. That's, like, never right.
What do you think of
Yeah, just go for side.
what do you think of Dualcaster Twin Flame and these kinds of like Teamer plus decks?
Dualcaster Twin Flame is entirely relevant. Like, I think that Dualcaster Twin Flame is carried by how often Twin Flame is a good card.
Mm-hmm.
And in a deck that literally is like the section in the server for this list is called Devoted Dockside. And when Twin Flame is a super cheap Dockside doubler, like it costs the same as Snap mathematically. And you're really hungry on mana for like your X tutors and your tutor chains with like Spellseekers and Drift of Phantasms and Muddle and all that. It gets really good. And then we have a lot of creature tutors. We have a lot of ways to just grab Dualcaster, go for this backup line. And most importantly, it's so hard to stacks out. It loses to very little stacks. It's similar to like
Loses
Earthcraft
to
in that
Rule of
way.
Law.
Loses to Rule of Law is true for basically every combo in the format. So
That's fair. It doesn't lose. Emil doesn't, but I guess you don't have anything to do with your infinite treasures in this deck.
Emil doesn't if we have Omnath in play.
Yeah, I
But
guess you're right.
it's weird. It doesn't if like you can say that, but it requires a lot of things to happen.
Yeah,
Like you
I
need
mean,
to
you
have
can just like
Omnath in
you can
play. You
destroy
need
your
to
whole
have
deck. You can destroy your whole deck after like during your opponent's upkeep, and then
you draw down a 1 card in deck, and then just hold up infinite treasures with like silence, and then recursion for silence and counter spells.
yeah, you
And you
play
go to your
four.
next turn and you bounce the rule. You just play Finale.
Yeah, yeah,
You bounce the Rule of Law, dump all your dorks, and play Finale.
yeah. That sounds
But
about right.
yeah, I don't like. Yeah, that it does, but Dualcaster does it pretty. Dualcaster beats Curse Totem and most importantly, it beats Null Rod. Null Rods
Yeah.
are really good right now, and this deck is very weak into a Null Rod. So
Interesting.
just being able to, in the late game, just say, oh, I have 5 mana, I have these 2 cards, insert on the stack, or you die. And it also provides an outlet, so it provides an outlet to Breach plus, like, Brain Freeze, all that stuff, if Dockside doesn't make enough mana to go infinite. Because we don't get access to our own Thassa's Oracle, or like a Praetor's Grasp or Mnemonic Betrayal for another Thassa's Oracle. So, just being able to mill ourselves out, make a bunch of red mana, and just win, really nice.
Interesting.
Notably, you can't win with it post-combat, but we play no cards that care about the combat step, so who cares? Just don't do things post-combat in decks that have Finale and Dualcaster and Kiki combo. It's very rarely right to do so.
All right. Let's go to our next hand. This is a fresh 7. Eldritch Evolution.
No lands.
Yeah.
Yay.
Eldritch Evolution, Dovin's Veto, Phantasmal Image, Gamble, Hornell's, Emil the Blessed, Interesting Study. Go to a second.
Dude,
7.
imagine if this had like 2 lands in it though.
Yeah, but that's every.
Imagine if this had 2 lands in it though.
So our next 7 also is no lander. I'm just gonna skip this.
Mana Crypt for Time Twister.
All right.
Cool.
Sabine's Reclamation, Dispel, Court of Calling, Patent Negation, Kinnan, Bloom Tender, Steam Vents. This is our 6. Has 1 land, no dorks. The land only taps for blue.
The land doesn't cast a Bloom Tender, it doesn't cast Keenan, it doesn't cast Sabine's. We're never casting Chord with this hand. We're gonna die to our Unpacked, and Dispel's mediocre interaction.
So go to 5.
Yeah.
Spell Pierce, Gilded Drake, Verdant Catacombs, Mox Diamond, Flusterstorm, Lotus Petal, Elvish Mystic.
This is good. Drake is like a Draking value engine. It's good. You can Drake Get Rock if you need to. Drake plenty of things. You have relevant interaction and a mana dork. This hand doesn't have a clear path to the win, but basically no 4s do. So, I think it's very, very aggressive to mulligan this hand.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're in a spot where we can be aggressive.
So we bottomed the Mox Diamond and one of the counter spells, right?
What are we peddling out exactly? Oh, we keep peddling because we can hold up counters.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably bottom Mox Diamond plus Flusterstorm. No, not Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce. I'm stupid.
Right.
We bottom
I do like
Spell
that
Pierce.
Spell Pierce counters like a Mystic Remora.
I mean, we're not playing in Remora at all with this hand. We have 2 relevant spells, Dork and Drake.
That's fair. Or Ristic Study.
Study's more relevant, but again, like, cards like Ristic Study and Remora don't do as much against you when you're already in the hole, because when you're trying to climb out of the hole, you're feeding your opponent's cards, and this hand doesn't currently climb out of the hole. Like, you feel me?
Yeah, I guess by the
this.
point that you're... At the point in which you're casting, like, a Spell Pierce, that's already... The Ristic's already resolved, probably. Right? Like...
Facts.
So... Alright. Keepable 5, and we're going to go to a fresh 7. Carpet of Flowers, Court of Calling, Pyroblast, Chain of Vapor, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Intuition.
Yes, back to good hands, thank you. Carpet makes mana. We want that. We play Carpet, just like pass, hold up interaction. The line that I immediately thought of here was to chord for like, Dockside, and then use that mana to go Intuition for the Breach combo.
Yeah.
Or Intuition for like Savine's plus Chord. We don't really get to do Cloudstone stuff because we have no dork.
Yeah.
But we could in theory Intuition for yeah, we just get Breach here. There's no reason to not get Breach here.
So the problem here is though that you only have 3-ish mana.
That is true.
So how are you gonna get out of 3?
This deck plays a stupidly high amount of mana sources, and we only really need like 1 more colored mana. So when like half of our deck is contributing, I think we'll be relatively okay.
Alright, so
it's not ideal.
Once you play, so if you get to 4 mana, you play Omnath, and then once you have Omnath, you can tap Omnath towards Chord to get Dockside, and then you can Chain of Vapor your Dockside and your Carpet of Flowers.
Also,
so
notice this. If we get Omnath into play and crack a fetch, we can just use that massive burst of mana to win on our main phase. Because once you've chorded for Dockside, you're going to be chanting your Dockside, and then you're getting the combo off Intuition. You'll have enough mana then. The goal is to get to the spot where we chord for Dockside. Because once that, our mana situation is no longer a huge issue.
Do you ever like intuition for a land, a Sabine's Reclamation, and like a card you want?
I don't want to, but I will if I have to.
Just because
I don't
like
know if...
you need the 4 mana from the fetch to like
Yeah.
if they give you a fetch
It's
land,
definitely an option here, but I don't know how much I feel about how great I feel about it.
I don't mean it here specifically. I'm just wondering if does that
Oh
ever
yeah,
end
in
up?
general, yeah, Intuition is a good tutor. People say Intuition's a bad tutor. It's bad at tutoring combo pieces without Sabines, and like reach and recursion.
Yeah.
But just getting 3 counter spells, getting Soul Ring plus Mana Crypt plus like Carpet even. You can get Sylvan plus Ristic plus Fish. That's a cool one. That's like bad though because we're getting the things on turn 3.
Yeah, I don't really like. I'm not a huge fan of intuition, although I think it's busted in decks like these, where it's a 1 card combo. I just don't like it
Yeah,
as like a. I don't like tutoring for value engines with it. I like tutoring
facts,
for
facts.
like, your
But
dockside
there
plus
there is no
Cloudstone.
text when Intuition says this card cannot find value engines. It's just you don't want to, but you can is the big thing.
Yeah, I think yeah, and but to be honest though, like how often do you have intuition in your hand and you're like, I'd rather get value engines than win the game. you know?
Uh, True.
So I
That
think
is true.
that's probably part of the
Anyway,
reason.
we're keeping this.
All
We
right,
even have Pyroblast is very efficient interaction.
all right. Let's just do one
I
more.
love blasts. Yeah, let's do one more.
Ancient Tomb, Mystic Remora, City of Brass, Pact Negation, Time Twister, Drainth Magistrate, Verdant Catacombs. I really like this hand.
Oh, so do I. This is awesome. Turn 1 fish, draw cards, and if you don't get what you want, you just Twister. And if you do get what you want, you just like...
Slam. I mean, what I like here is that you can go turn 1 Remora, pay for the Remora on upkeep, play the Ancient Tomb, or play the Verdant Catacombs, depending on like whatever you draw. And then the following turn, you can use the Ancient Tomb to... Yeah, I guess you have to play the Ancient Tomb. You use the Ancient Tomb to pay for Mystic Remora, and then you drop your Drained Magistrate on turn 3.
Yeah,
And
that's
now
great. That's great.
you've locked them out of their commander, which is like one of their only creature spells they can cast that's of value. You, like
You're
usually,
paying for fish every turn because you're a minute ahead because you have
yeah,
Ancient Tomb.
yeah,
You're gonna keep hitting land drops, and if it goes bad, you have Twister, and you have a Pact of Negation for when you're trying to win the game. This is
yeah.
great.
I like this one.
Very good fair magic hand.
Yeah,
I
if
want to go to
Mystic
the
Remora
like,
is a fan.
mythical turn 1 kills for the content, but I guess
Yeah, sorry, I'm not
it's
sure.
okay, don't worry.
Not sure
Yeah, this deck doesn't win turn 1 like ever. There's like, it's so reliant on Toxide. You better hope you're playing into like my IRL meta of double blue farm plus CSD every game.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. I'm
Oh,
down
it's
for
great.
that.
I love it.
I'm really down for that. All right, so now that we've done our greedy keeps, is there anything you want to add about the deck? Anywhere people should
Uh,
check you out? Any things you want to say?
uh, Not really. Like, it's not a super complicated deck. To be fair, you don't have to have a very high IQ to understand Omnath. Like, you just sort of like go for the combo because you're never gonna grind in a late game like a Tymna deck or a Thrasios deck. But your advantage is where you're so committed to just I'm gonna get protection and I'm gonna win. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and win whenever I can. And if people stop me, that's just how it is because the more turns I spend doing nothing, the farther behind I get. And that's a philosophy a lot of people have to accept is if you're not playing like partner slash Kenrith slash Najila slash Kess or like Yuriko and Corvold, if your commander doesn't draw cards recur spells, you sort of just have to like be the aggressor because everyone knows that comboing off first is never like you usually don't want to, but sometimes you have to, and that's like something you have to acknowledge.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Omnath, it's important to just I think you have to think about like how interactive am I going to be at this table,
Yeah, exactly.
and
And
am I going
also,
to be able to get under people, and because like
mm,
one problem with dockside combos is that like you have to balance out like getting under people with them having to have enough permanence in play that you can win, which
exactly.
is like a
But
really awkward place to be.
yeah, it's not great, but it's a thing. Well, you'll manage usually. That's
Yeah,
a big reason why we cut Baron. It's like I was like, oh yeah, Baron's really good at 3 mana, and I was like, in the next game, I was like, on my phone between games, yo, how do we actually get them to have 6 treasures? How do we actually make them have 6 treasures all the time?
No
And I
Wishclaw.
was like, yeah, we're going back to,
How?
yeah, no more fucking Wishclaw for Praetor's Grasp per Wishclaw.
Yeah.
I love that line.
It's it's like one of my favorite things to do is like when you Praetor's
Yeah.
Grasp their wish
Just
claws.
assume you have infinite mana, and you need Dockside to win the game. Yeah.
I've been there
Big
before
brain.
where I had like 30 mana, but I needed to make infinite mana, and
Yeah,
that
it's never enough.
yeah, it's never enough.
You always want more mana.
Yeah. Well, I
It's
was
the
like
shit.
trying to loot Praetor's Grass. I think is what I was trying to do. I don't know.
I'm
I
gonna try
forget.
to mana burn one of these days. We're gonna be playing old school.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Thank you, Ano, for coming onto the podcast. I hope people check you out on the Ukimakazu Discord and the Omnath Discord. Both are great
Yes,
places to
harass me.
meme.
Tag me with the word hero. Every single time I go online, tag me. Always. Do it. It's
Yeah.
funny.
Also, anytime you have any complaints about how powerful Thraxus and Timna are or are not, just tag
Yeah,
on.
harass me. Yeah,
Yeah.
harass me. That's the goal here. Make me
We
suffer.
we want to bully you off the internet. That's the goal.
Oh no, I do it myself. It's okay.
All right. Well, thanks again, and I hope you have a great night. And thank you to everyone who checked this out. I appreciate it. Have a nice one. Bye.